Ready? Okay, so on the quiz, you have to identify the local min and the local max. On Friday, we talked about how minimum is where it's down at the bottom. A maximum is up at the top. Okay, so if I was identifying the minimums for this one, I would say this point and this point, right? Everybody okay on minimums? Maximums are the other way. Max is up here. Okay, so min's down here, max is up there. Good? And you're just going to state that location. You're going to say -1, 3. Okay? All right. Domain. I'm telling you this right now. Here's one of the answers. For domain, it's from -infinity to positive infinity. Or all real numbers. I'll take both. Okay? If I got it, you get one question right there.
How much?
Yeah.
Wait, no, come on.
You're stressing me out. You're stressing me out. All right. Range. Range is my lowest to highest. So what is my lowest y value here? -6. So we're going to say from -6 to what's our highest? Infinity. Okay. Those 4 questions you should not get wrong. You can identify max and min. You can do the domain. You can do the range. Okay. Now, intervals of increase and decrease. This is, you're looking at from left to right. Is it going down or up? And when is that happening? So, thinking of being on a roller coaster at Six Flags. Here's your little cart. This is you. Are you going down or up? Down. When is that occurring? Okay, so from -infinity to -2. And then what's happening? You're going up. And when is that happening? -2 to -1. Everybody see it? Okay, and then it happens again. We go down. And when does that happen? -1 to 1. You're looking at your x values. When is that happening? Okay, and then you're going to go back up. So it's increase. 1 to positive infinity. Okay, if it helps you with the visual, you can use a marker or pin on the test. Okay. All right. Now, the next one is in behavior. It is either going to be both of the ends are facing up. So both of these are going to be either increasing or positive infinity, or both of them are going to be facing downwards. You got 2 options, infinity or negative infinity. Good. Okay, so on this one, is it going up to positive infinity or is it going down to negative infinity? Going up to positive infinity on both sides. Cool? Okay. X-intercept and Y-intercept. X-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis. On this one, we have 2. There's one right here, one right here. Okay. Y-intercept, it just so happens to be the same as the x-intercept. That's okay. Okay. Questions on that? Okay. We're going to do a quick little practice. Okay. So what is local minimum? Okay. -0.949941. Okay, cool. Maximums. And 6.914. And 2.607, 1.383, right? Okay. All right, what's the domain? All real numbers, or negative infinity to positive infinity, right? Questions on those 3?
I need to ask you a question and like
Or I can control my face. It's a bad habit. Yeah. All right, range. Okay, so you always want to like put the lowest then to the highest. Okay, so I'm sorry, bottom to top. Okay, so bottom to top. So don't list 6.914 first. Do the bottom to top. Okay. All right. Increase and decrease. Increase is going to be from negative infinity to negative 0.326. Yeah.
Yeah. But that was like the lowest.
It keeps going down for range. Are we on the front? Yeah. Okay, so it keeps going down. You see those two lines and they're going, whoop. Yeah, so negative infinity, because it's your y values. It keeps going down. And then, so, let me zoom out so y'all can see it. Okay, so here it is again. I got a question about range. So on range, it's negative infinity to this point. So negative infinity, because it keeps going down. If y'all don't quit talking, negative infinity to 6.914. That's range. Okay. Now, for increase and decrease, increase is when it's going up, decrease is when it's going down. So we're going to increase from here to here, increase from here to here. We're using the x values to describe increase and decrease. So when we increase, we're going to go from negative infinity to negative 0.326. That's the x value for right here. For increase again, we're going to go from 1.469 to 2.607. For decrease, we're going to go down this way, which is from negative 0.326 to 1.469. And then we're going to go down again, and that's going to be from 2.607 to positive infinity. Okay, so you say from here to here, then here to here. You're using your x values. Don't use your y values. Your y values are wrong. Okay, yes. Because we're talking about the x value. This way is positive infinity for x. Good. You want to read it left to right. You want to use your x values. Okay. All right, as x is going to negative infinity, what's happening to our y values? Okay, negative infinity. What happens when we're going to the right? Okay, so these are either going to both be positive infinity or they're going to be both be negative infinity. Okay. For your x-intercepts, how many are there?
4.
4. Okay, so we've got negative 1 comma 0. We've got 1 comma 0. We've got 2 comma 0. And we got 3 comma 0. What about your y-intercept? Okay, 0, 6. Want to make sure you put it as a location. Good, yes, no. Okay, flip over to the back and just do increase, decrease, and in behavior. Just do increase, decrease, and in behavior. Okay, take a moment, do the one on the back, increase, decrease, in behavior. Okay, so for intervals of increase and decrease, the first one is decreasing. So we're going to say from negative infinity to about, if you said like negative 1.25 or 1.5, that's fine. Okay.
1.5.
Negative 1.25. Okay, if you said negative 1, that's okay too. That's okay. They didn't tell you the exact specifics. Okay. Now, increasing, no. Negative 1, negative 2, right here. Yeah. All right, so then increasing would be from negative 1.25 or whatever number you said here to about 0.5. Okay. And then it's going to decrease again from 0.5 to positive infinity. Okay. As x is approaching negative infinity, y is approaching what? As x is approaching infinity this way, y is approaching. Okay. So on this one was split, right? This one was split. Okay. So as you're going to the left, it's going up. As you're going to the right, it's going down. Yes. Okay. So on your quiz, the only other thing that there is there's a bonus question. So again, you don't have to necessarily do it. It's going to be a question kind of similar to like these. Okay. And so it will ask something like, I mean, I'm not gonna like tell you the exact thing, but it's similar questions to these where you could take it, you can plug it into your Desmos calculator, you can kind of tell from there. Yeah, I can't tell you much more than that, but it's gonna be like these. Again, it's a bonus, so you don't have to do it. You're gonna be asked questions like this. Use the graph to answer the following. Okay, so F1, we would say when X is 1, what is Y? And that's gonna be 20. F of 2, that means X is 2, what's Y? And that's 10. F of 4, that's 40, 50, then 50. Questions on that? Remember, filled in dot is the one that has the number. Open circle, no. Okay. What is the purpose of a W4? Some of y'all mess this up on your quiz. Go ahead. Okay, so employer can take out correct federal taxes. Okay. Cool. Yeah, come grab it. Okay. What's the purpose of a W2? Not to calculate. That one comes back with all of your tax deductions, how much you earned, all of that jazz. Okay, so the purpose of a W2 is to let you and the government know how much you've earned to date, year to date, and gross pay, and your deductions, all that jazz. Sorry, that's a mess. Okay. Now 1040, you good? What you Oh, yeah, you I don't have any tissues. Those are white. Okay. All right, what's the purpose of a 1040? To calculate your taxes. So like how much the bill is actually going to be. So a 1040 is to calculate taxes and kind of consolidate everything that you have onto one document. Okay. All right. So Ezekiel makes $14 per hour and works 40 hours each week. He is paid every 2 weeks. What will his gross pay be? So 14 hours times 40, I'm sorry, $14, 40 hours, and he's paid every 2 weeks. So he works 2 weeks, right? All right, so you're going to take 14 times 40 times 2. 14 times 40 times 2. And that's going to be 1,120. Okay. Susanna makes $42,000 per year, but is paid twice a month. What will her gross pay be on her paycheck? So $42,000 a year. We got to figure out the monthly amount. So we're going to take 42,000 and divide it by 12. And that's going to give us 3,500. But she's paid twice per month. So we're going to divide that by 2 again. And that's going to be 1,750 on her paycheck. Okay. All right. Number 7, you're going to need your tax bracket chart. Okay. So if you don't have one, it's in your packet. Okay. If she makes $70,000, what marginal tax rate is she at? 22%. Some of y'all mixed up effective and marginal on the quiz. Okay. Now, how much does Cameron owe in federal income? This is where you're going to use that formula. So you're going to say 0.22 times 70,000 minus, and on the table, it tells us 41,775 plus 4,807.50. Okay, so you're going to take all that and plug it in. So they're going to owe 11,017. Is that what you got? Are we okay? Okay. Then effective tax rate is how much you found here divided by how much she makes in a year. So 11,017 divided by 70, and we're going to multiply by 100. So that's going to give me about 15.7%. So notice that she's in the tax bracket of 22%, but really only 16% of her income is actually taxed. Okay. And remember, this is just your federal income, not including state. Okay, flip over to the back. Some of y'all are struggling with reading this. So really quick, YTD means year to date. So that's from January 1st to whatever day it is. And on this paycheck, it is February 19th. Okay. So what is John's gross pay for this period? So what you're going to do is you're going to look at the current column and you're going to add those two things together because he did regular work and then he did overtime. Okay. So you're going to take 1920 plus 288. And that's going to give you 2,208. What is John's net pay for the pay period? Remember, that's take your gross and subtract all deductions. Okay, so the deductions on this and the taxes on this, that's these two things combined. Okay, so 400.39 plus 153.71. So we're going to subtract 554.1. And that's going to give me 1653.9. Now, what percent of John's total wage did he pay in taxes? That's going to be take your taxes out of his total paycheck. So 550, oh, JK. How much taxes did he have? 400.39. And we're going to divide it by how much his gross was, which was 2,208. And that's going to give us about 18%. Okay. How long is the pay period for? We went from 2/3 to 2/16. How many days is that? 13 days, which is roughly 2 weeks. Okay. How much was John paid in Social Security tax this year? There you go. Okay. I was looking for it. 184.12. That's how much he paid in Social Security. Okay. What does the IRS stand for? They're the worst. But I mean, I never meet anybody who works for them because like nobody ever wants to admit they work there. So when are US taxes due each year? Good. Okay, so my suggestion to you would be go back, look over your 3.1 notes, look back over your 3.2 notes. If today was a struggle with the whole like key features and that kind of stuff, there's some Khan Academy videos on that. Okay. And then tomorrow we're taking our test. If you are missing a quiz, you need to come see me during Pride on Thursday. If you are trying to retake unit 2 tests, you can see me after school today or Thursday or during Pride on Thursday. We got to finish these retakes because I'm not keeping it open for the entire semester. That's not how this works. Okay. You want to take advantage of it, that's fine. You need to get it done. I'm going to try to have all quizzes graded today so that you know what you have going into the test tomorrow. And then if you had any makeups or anything like that, I'm going to try to get those done today as well. Okay. So tonight, get your